while we're on the topic of ego, personality, character, let's step back a bit and talk about pain. Welcome to the Relationship Theory, everyone. I am your neurotypical empath. Close the gap. Close the gap in your minds, in your heart, the words that you speak, the memories that you have. Start working to close the gap. You know how when you get a cut on your body, there's a gash that's left that needs to repair, and not that you sew it back together, although sometimes that's what happens, but you do what's needed to treat the wound so that the skin just automatically finds a way to come back and repair and feel healthy again. That's necessary for your mind to close the gap. When the gap is open in your mind at all, what you have are projections, memories that do not align with your present reality and your timeline. There will be things that you say to people that are meant for someone else. If you don't close the gap, these are the things that are coming out of you daily in your interactions with people, in the way that you live, in the way that you wake up. Something about you is left behind, and you need to go back and get it so that you can close the gap once and for all. Because there's a reason why you're still hurting about that thing in the past. There's a reason why you're confusing someone who hurt you with someone who's trying to take care of you right now, today. There's a reason why. Something was left behind and you still haven't picked it up, but you must pick it up. You say you want all of these things, all of these good things, all of these healthy things that supplement and complement your life. You say you want a healthy life. You say you want a good body. You say you want a good relationship. You say you want friends. You say you just want to connect with people. And while that's all well and good, any place inside you that has a gap, that's afraid that you might get hurt, or afraid that the wrong thing may be said and you'll be misunderstood, those things need to be repaired. None of that has to do with your present reality. Is there a way for you to fast forward through those feelings so that you can get to the point where the way you feel today belongs to today? The good way that you feel stays with you? There isn't any magical substance that's going to bring to you what you want if you're still afraid of the end result because of something that happened in the past with someone else who is no longer part of your life. And you might not know it, but your ego, the longer that gap is open in your mind, your ego starts to create a character around avoiding that point in your life, that good point in your life. Your personality, something starts to develop of a personality along that line of what you're afraid of. You start to become the very thing you're afraid of. That's how it happens. See, what you want to imagine is happening in your life is a reel that's being played. You want to imagine it. I know there's people who feel like that's what's happening, like you're watching a movie, but you are still an actor, don't forget this. But you want to imagine that a reel is being played. And at any point that there is some sort of interference, some sort of interaction in this film that doesn't seem to play out the way that you would like it to, or just doesn't seem to play out in order of things, You want to imagine that there's a part that needs editing. You want to look at what it is that doesn't make this clip play the way that it's supposed to, so that just everything fits. What do I need to put in here or take away that makes this clip play smoothly? So that the way that I interpret it plays smoothly, so that other people can interpret the way that I'm even coming across smoothly. You want to look at that reel, and once you see something that skips, once you see something that it seems to go off the path of the line of thought that you're thinking, look at that, address that, because that is the gap you need to close. Those are the fears you need to apprehend. Those are the memories you need to recall and reframe. Because it's possible to reframe your memories. Vulnerability, because this is where it goes once you have to go into memories and thoughts that you feel are painful. Vulnerability is your ability to describe and articulate detail with a tone of neutrality. If someone was watching you talk about one of your deepest fears, would you be trembling and shaking? Would you be really, really excited? Would you be ready to burst outside of your skin trying to tell it? Or would you just be able to, so that they can feel the story that you're telling, just convey it with precise detail, so accurate that they themselves feel like they were there? That's how you know you've done vulnerability right. When someone else feels it and you don't. It's a different kind of projection. But projection is too simple. Projection pretends that you're okay and makes someone else have to deal with what you are supposed to deal with. But vulnerability acknowledges that you have dealt with it, but someone else has the ability to see exactly all of the options in their mind. It's just like in Endgame, when Doctor Strange explored all of those possibilities and then found the one. That's vulnerability. When you give it to someone else and they are able to see all those 14 million possibilities, and then the one story that they see that everything works out is the one that you told them. So we need to close the gap. There's only one way out of this. You have the key. Quick flashback. Back in the video, how to tell if you're being gaslighted versus illuminated. Remember that there was a part about illumination where if you reflect your light properly, it guides itself along to opening doors and opening minds. Sometimes it's going to be your job to do it, and you're not always going to experience people who do that for you. Sometimes it's your job to avoid gaslighting people by illuminating them. And the only way to do that is to ensure that you illuminate yourself. That's TRT. I am your neurotypical empath. Enjoy your day.